He was down with the kids.
Was he? I didn't hear about that, no.
On the subject of TV scandals, what have Ant and Dec been up to this week?
They've been a programme which they were involved with, which they were executive producers for, and which they presented, was found guilty, which they knew nothing about. Because they were the executive producers and they were presenting it, but they didn't know anything about it.
No, they didn't know anything about it.
I'll visit you in jail too.
Wednesdays are good for me. And basically, they've been fined, millions of pounds.
Yes, that's right. ITV's been fined for ripping off viewers in phone-in competitions on Saturday Night Takeaway. And actually, on the subject of the Comedy Awards, there's the British Comedy Award from 2005. Organisers promised Robbie Williams he could present an award to Ant and Dec to guarantee his attendance. But in fact, viewers had actually voted for the Catherine Tate show.
Yeah.
So they're going to have to give it back. Thieving Geordie bastards.
This programme was up for a British Comedy Award once in the comedy quiz section, and we lost out to Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
The other year we were up for Best Comedy, it was won by General Franco.
Yeah. But he had a great puppet act, actually, to be fair.
This is the news, I say news, that Cliff Richard was robbed, of first place in the 1968 Eurovision Song Contest after the voting was rigged by General Franco. The classified information was revealed when the archives were opened up thanks to the so-called 40-year rule, allowing historians for the first time to get fascinating insights into Cliff's 50th birthday celebrations. Paul and Reg, here's your archive cue.
So, yeah, Jimmy Savile, I think they said they've, somewhere in the north, Leeds, they started a new scheme up where teenagers are to be warned off from hanging around the public areas by the voice of Jimmy Savile. You hear this voice come out of the lamppost. Now then, pick that up. Why he doesn't sound like himself, I don't know. That's one of the mysteries of digital recording.
Where did you get this information?
Is it not true?
Let's try and find that out.
Halfway through, I had a feeling I'd made it up.
He's given an interview to Esquire magazine in which he said not only did he fix treats for children, he fixed things for grown-ups. One of them was he fixed the Middle East.
Yes.
No, this is serious. This is what he's saying. He was in Israel, he met some politicians, they said, "You're amazing, Jim, can't you sort out this problem for us?" And he did.
According to the Sunday Times, Jimmy Savile was in the Middle East recording an Israeli edition of Jim Will Fix It. "Sorry, I can't get you the Golan Heights back, but I've fixed it for you, Moshe Dayan, to ride on a roller coaster with Haircut 100.
So his voice doesn't come out of lampposts in Headingley. But he has fixed the Middle East.
It may well do. He said, "I am like a sewing machine needle that goes in here and goes in there, but I am also the eminence grise, the grey shadowy figure in the background." He's really blended in the background there, isn't he?
And he said he spent Christmas with Mrs Thatcher for something like 10 years.
No, that's a long Christmas, wasn't it? Did nobody think to go outside and check what the time was? She locked him in.
It was worse than that. He claims to have spent 11 consecutive Christmases with the Thatchers. He says, "Dennis, me and her, shoes off in front of the fire. There was no conversation, really. Anyone with that sort of entree might be punting for any number of things, but I hardly said a word. She tippled to that."
Did they not think of inviting the rest of their family, the Thatchers, or did they just wanted Jimmy Savile? Mark, who could never find the place.
Have you met Carol?
No. Do you think her mum would rather spend time with Jimmy Savile than her own daughter? Is that what the BBC political correspondent is saying?
My job merely to report speculation.
Exactly, yeah.
It doesn't actually say that he was invited.
No. No. Or, in fact, or indeed that he'd left after the first one. That's proving my point. He hid in Chequers. It's a big place. He was up the chimney. Every so often they lit a fire, and they just thought the radio on was on or something, but they didn't realise he was there the whole time.
He hid in the roof for 11 years.
He befriended a barn owl called Mr. Peters.
That's right. Him and Mr. Peters, the barn owls.
General Franco's outside. He wants an apology.
Sorry, we've just had a bit of information. It is true about the voice of Jimmy Savile in The Lamppost in Headingley. So,
Is it?
Yes. Time now for the odd one out round. Ian and Nick, your 4 are Sir Igor Judge, Major Major, Ryan Nurse, and Vanessa Frisbee.
The man called Judge is a judge.
Yeah.
So he is, in fact, Judge Judge.
Yes, Judge Judge.
Major Major was a major. He's a fictional character in Catch-22. Yeah. This Ryan Nurse, he is a nurse.
He's a nurse, yes.
He's a man who pretended to be a nurse.
He's not actually a real nurse, no.
Oh, right.
Born
But,
ambulance.
and this is the important bit, she is a Frisbee. Well, is Major Major... Was he not a major? Was he a captain who'd been promoted upwards?
He was actually a major,
Oh, he
and
was
his
a
name
major.
was Major.
Not John Major?
Not John Major.
Or John
Promoted
Sargent,
upwards.
indeed. I always thought John Sargent was an unpromoted John Major. It's a joke about ranking.
Uptown top ranking.
Yeah.
Althea and Donna.
Yeah.
Play me little bass, let me wind up me waist. Uptown top ranking. Boo!
That's what black people sound like to us.
Play that thing about Jimmy Savile. That's how white folks sound.
Frisbee's the odd one out because she's got nothing to do with the Frisbee.
Yes. You're kind of right. They've all done the job their surname suggests, apart from Vanessa Frisbee, who claimed her boss, Naomi Campbell, frisbeed a plate at her.
Did it come to court?
It did.
Did it rebound on her?
I was so worried that I was going to do the worst joke of the night.
Well, there's still a few minutes left, so...
And, yes, Ryan Nurse, he was found guilty of posing as a nurse for 18 months and gaining work using forged medical qualifications. And here's a picture of him. Just to point out, that is actually a dummy. That's not actually a real person, just in case
I
you
think that's
were-
Michael Heseltine.
According to The Sun, the imposter routinely used a second-hand ambulance and some old equipment, while genuine paramedics looked on with envy. Paul and Reginald, your 4 are Smell, Chips, Lisa Goddard, and Laziness.
I like the idea that there's a man who's just laziness.
Yeah. But a man with a clothes peg on his nose can't smell, so actually that's a very bad illustration of smell.
It's ironic, isn't it?
No, it's not ironic, it's wrong.
It's wrong.
It's ironically wrong. It's about like if you showed a plate of chips and you just showed a barn owl talking to Mr. Peters. That would be confusing.
Wasn't the barn owl called Mr. Peters?
Well, there's a lot of barn owls in the world. They haven't all got the same name, you know. That would be confusing. I like the idea of a barn owl called Mr. Peters. It's as simple as that. Lisa Goddard, she's an actress. She was in sitcoms. She used to do that charade game on the telly, I think, probably. Give us a check.
Yes.
She was... Let me see. Yeah, I've got no idea.
Okay,
Yeah.
when I smell chips,
Yeah,
I want to eat chips.
yeah.
And then after I eat chips, I have sex with Lisa Goddard. And then I feel quite lazy.
Yeah.
Reg, you're saying this out loud.
You can lose your sense of smell, you can lose a portion of chips, you can lose laziness, but you can't lose Lisa Goddard. Is Lisa Goddard the odd one out, though?
No.
No. OK, well...
Are they all side effects of something?
What, chips? Oh, yeah, chips are a side effect of cutting potatoes.
I'll give you a clue. Belgium.
Belgium.
Oh, yeah!
OK, right, OK. They're very lazy in Belgium. They eat a lot of chips, they've got no sense of smell, and they don't know who Lisa Goddard is, so she's the odd one out. No, she's not the odd one out. We established that earlier. The sense of smell is the odd one out, because it's the only one that's not there.
Okay.
OK, we've got 2 more to guess.